Welcome back, everybody. This is Strategic Command World War One. It's a game I played a while back for the first time. I really like the history of World War One. I like talking about it. I like interacting with you guys about it. But I was pretty miserable at the game the first time through, but I learned a lot in my first time playing through as the Central Powers, so I want to give it another go, playing as the Central Powers before I take on the role of the Allies. I always like in games like this, when possible, once I get decent at the game, to play as the side that historically lost so I can try to change history. It's not necessarily an indication that I want that side to win, it's just what I choose to do. So we're going to go with 1914, Call to Arms, August 1st, 1914 to start again. And we're going to play as the Central Powers. We're going to do, I think, yeah, we'll go ahead and stick with intermediate difficulty. And I don't think we'll change anything. We'll just go with it the way it is. But now I feel like I've got a little better handle on how the game is played, on what to expect, etc. We'll go ahead and do the 3D units. A lot of you asked for those before. I prefer, personally, the counter style, but I know a lot of people don't. So we'll keep everything else turned on as is. Let's dive into this thing. So as before, I'm going to probably be trying a similar strategy. However, at the end of each episode, much like I'm doing with Hearts of Iron 4, I'm probably going to throw questions at the War Cabinet. Those are all the patrons who are at the first lieutenant rank and up, the officer rank basically and up. And I'm going to probably ask some questions about the guidance and direction you want me to go, and I'll make those binding. Whatever they decide is what we'll choose to do. So we've got a headquarters that we get to place here off the bat, and I think we'll put that in Stuttgart. We've got some artillery, which is going to be huge for me moving forward. I didn't make nearly as much use of artillery as I should have last time. As far as cavalry goes, I think I'm going to place some of that over here in the east. I think it'll be lost in the west, where everything will get bogged down in like 3 units deep. And I'm going to throw as much of my forces in the east as I possibly can. I need to try and stabilize that line before we get into battle. We're going to try to push through and take Paris quickly if possible in the west, but I'm really going to rush a lot of units over to the east. Our immediate priorities: a successful advance into Serbia, seizing Belgrade and Niš will encourage Bulgaria to enter the war on our side, which is going to be huge. But we must also hold our eastern frontier, for Russian advances may entice Romania into entering the war against us. Romania is also an important food source, so war with that country could also lead to hunger and low morale at home. We must therefore advance into Serbia while also holding our eastern frontier as securely as possible. Violating the neutrality of Belgium, the Netherlands, or Denmark will automatically bring the British into the war. That's what happened historically. Sending any naval units, including submarines, anywhere near the British coast into the North Sea or the Atlantic will also provoke them. So take care if you hope to delay Britain's war entry, as without provocation it is likely that the British will remain neutral for the first month of the conflict. Honestly, it's not worth it to me to wait on Britain to get into the war. Imperial Germany's war economy relies on goods imported from the neutral Netherlands. It's therefore vital that we keep the Dutch friendly to us, using diplomacy if necessary, as it is solely due to her friendly neutral status that she can import goods that would otherwise be deprived to us. If the Netherlands were to enter the war on either side or swing toward favoring the Entente, then we would lose those vital imports and our people could face food shortages. These are all important aspects of the game and starting out that we need to keep in mind. Now, honestly, it's important for me to immediately rush into Belgium and try to get around with the Schlieffen Plan. The Schlieffen Plan, for those of you, and I apologize to those who have followed the series before and have heard me say these things already, but for those who may not be familiar with the game or with World War I in general, basically, Germany had planned for years for this war to come about. They had been planning, they had been preparing for it, and they had a general by the name of von Schlieffen who had this plan. And the plan was basically a couple of things. Number one, they can't attack France directly. It's too fortified. It's too well defended. The way you attack France is to go through Belgium and try to outflank the French army, get around their defenses, take Paris, hopefully end the war. The second part of that is that they figured it was going to be a two-front war with Russia on the east, France in the west. The plan was Russia's huge. It'll take them a long time to get their armies mobilized and all the way up to the front from the internal parts of their country. So in the meantime, let's rush through Belgium, take France out, then hurry all of our forces to the east to take on Russia and basically win a two-front war in that way. Great idea. Didn't work out that way because France was a harder nut to crack than they expected, and Russia mobilized far sooner than they expected. But that doesn't mean we can't do it. So that's what our plan's going to be, and that begins with declaring war on Belgium. So that's actually what we're going to do right off the bat. And that's going to allow us to work our way through there. UK joins the Entente. That's the reason the UK joined the war, was because of that declaration. But we've got to try and rush as many forces as we can into this area before he can bottle us up. Good start. Perfect. I was hoping I'd be... Oh, I can move one of these guys into Liège. That's kind of one of our first targets that we wanted to take out before it got too crazy. Honestly, I'm just really having a hard time. Having a hard time being able to see what I want to do with the counters this way. I don't know if it'll be a little easier with the bases. Yeah, that does actually help a lot for me to be able to kind of organize things. So let's go ahead and do that. Kind of feel like I probably should have just stayed on Metz and built the line there, but we're going to go ahead and entrench everybody we can right off the bat. Let's pull the cavalry out of here. Really not a lot of point to having cavalry on the front lines right now. Oh, surprised I can't entrench them. Really very strange that I can't entrench that unit. All right, we'll move folks up as much as we can. I definitely want to get some artillery as close to the front lines as possible. And some of these units back here, I feel like I probably don't need quite that many. Wish I could have moved forward a little more into the Ardennes there. I'm kind of surprised I can't. So a couple of these units back here I feel like are kind of extra for me, like the 8th Corps. So in that case, I'm going to actually... There's a way to... not forced march. I think there's a way to redeploy them strategically to the other side, but I might not be able to do that on the first turn. Okay, so now we're going to look down here. This is going to be a little more interesting. I want to get away. I'm probably going to have to get away from the coast because they'll probably get shelled there. And I know that I'm sure probably going to be facing units right here. I am. Nope. Oh boy. That was kind of a stupid mistake on my part there. Yeah, we need more units down there for sure. Alright, the bigger problem is right here, especially these Galician oil fields. They tend to be really difficult to hold on to in the first couple of turns, but I'm going to try. I don't think I can entrench. Oh, I can with them. So we're going to try to hang on while we rush reinforcements to the front over here. The Russians don't tend to be that good at combat, but they just have a lot of people is the problem. There we go. No entrenchment there. So I'm getting kind of aggressive in my movements to start. Darn it, I didn't want to do that. I'm sure he's got somebody there. I gotta be much more careful with these movements. And we're gonna start strategically redeploying from the west to the east to help strengthen this line, because we don't have nearly enough men on the line right now. And here, I'd almost be content with giving up Memel at first to build myself a stronger line rather than getting out that far. Because we'll be able to counterattack and take it back, and if there's one area that I'm willing to kind of surrender for now, it's Memel. And we're just going to dig in with all these folks and hold the line here as best we can. Kind of already got entrenchment there. We got to watch this area here. This is one of the areas I'm going to have to fill in quickly before he's able to counterattack on me. All right, I tried. I have a hard time seeing what's going on effectively with those counters, so I'm going back to these, and I apologize to those of you who don't like that. But we're going to keep our Navy intact because the loss of these ships is devastating to national morale. So other than the subs, which I will eventually take out, for the most part, I'm not going to do a lot with them. I am going to try to cut the Russians off where possible, but I'm not going to do a whole lot of that for now. Likewise with the Austria-Hungarian Navy, I'm going to bring them back as much as I can. And when I see an opportunity, I might pounce on it, but for the most part, I just don't want to lose the points. So we're going to kind of sit tight, and we're not going to really try to blockade. I understand I can't compete with him militarily when it comes to the Navy, so I'm really just not going to try. I think that's about all I want to do on this turn. There's nothing I can do in terms of research. We don't have points yet for that. So let's go ahead and advance. Luxembourg surrenders. Germany plunders, 31 points for that. All right. Our Mittelmeer division, whose flagship Goeben battlecruiser is currently in the Mediterranean, sailing toward Constantinople. You can either send it to the Austro-Hungarians or send it to the Ottomans. We're going to send it to the Hungarians. Ottomans, at least in my experience, haven't gotten into the war very quickly, so it'll make more sense to do that. We can send these additional units. This is Conrad von Hötzendorf. Sending them to fight the Russians will delay their arrival by weeks. So we're going to go for Serbia, yes. We need all the help we can get. We got to take Serbia out because we need Bulgaria to come in on our side, especially if the Romanians enter the war. I'm going to need that help desperately. So a lot of mobilization is going to happen the first couple of turns. We're going to see a lot of additional units appearing. And one of the reasons why I pushed this front so far up is because a lot of those mobilizing units appear in certain predefined places, and if I don't move up, they end up appearing on the front lines and they just get destroyed right off the bat, and I don't want that to happen. All right, so it looks like he moved his Navy up all the way to where I am, but the good news is that means I can probably take out that dreadnought very quickly. Definitely early on I need to get some more artillery, at least on the western front. That's going to help me a lot with softening up some of those areas that are going to be difficult to break through, because I really want to push the French and take out as many of his corps as I possibly can early in the war. But it's expensive to buy artillery. All right, here come the Russians. And they're going to send everybody they've got at that cavalry unit. So I wasn't able to hold Tarnopol. I was hoping I would. There's just not enough units to hold the line here. But I'd rather he go there than start punching up into this area here. Which he may do that too. I'm trying to hold that Galician oil field objective, but you can see what he's going to do to me. You get attacked with at least 4 units right off the bat, if not more. So it may have been a mistake on my part to try and get up there and hold that. I guess we'll see. It looks like the French are pretty well done. And the Russians may be as well. Oh, we're getting a little glitchy there. All right, I think we're ready for our next turn. We'll do one more turn this episode. These episodes, I'm going to keep them, try to keep them short, so I can make them more frequently. I don't want to cut down on anything else that I'm doing on the channel, so I just wanted to do this in addition to, for those who might be looking forward to this. It's recommended we send aid to Austria-Hungary. That's probably going to be something we need to do. Yeah, let's go ahead and appoint Hindenburg. We're going to get that new thing over there. Yes. 50 points. Yeah, this will raise our national morale. Morale's huge in this game. I was doing okay militarily in my last campaign, but my morale was so in the toilet that it didn't matter. So let's go ahead and look at diplomacy for a second. Hold on, we got to close that. We're going to need to send what we can to the Austro-Hungarians. I'll deal with that afterwards, though. Research right off the bat. We got to start early on research and keep it going. Where's artillery? I definitely want to work on artillery, I think. I'm also going to work on infantry weapons. Yes. I think that's all I'll do for the first turn, and we'll just do a little bit each turn. Maybe that's how we'll do this. Purchase. We don't have any core that we're able to purchase. I think I'm going to... Oh, I can't buy any artillery. Are you kidding? No, they're 300. That's why. Okay, so maybe I am going to put more into research. But first I want to do my upgrades first. And I want to start shifting strategically some of these units to the other side. So we're going to operationally move that unit. And we're going to get them over here near Tannenberg, where one of the most important battles of the early war took place between the Germans and the Russians. Same thing with Würzburg. We'll send that unit too. We need to start getting as much help over here as I can. Plug some of these gaps. Okay. Reinforce. It's been a while since I've done this. I don't know how high we can go on entrenchment. Max entrench is 1, so there's no reason to do that further there. So we're going to reinforce where we can. We've got to definitely entrench where we can. Try and hold a solid line as much as possible. I don't want to give up these Galician oil fields, though. Dang, that didn't work out so well. That will. Beautiful. Lovely. Okay, I don't want to move up. Well, maybe I should. No, I can't really. I think we're just going to kind of hold the line where we are. So we got some German cavalry there to help out. Let's reinforce these guys. Of course, reinforcement hurts your experience that you've gained, but unfortunately I don't have a lot of choice in that. All right, we'll get some help over there to deal with that. What we've really got to focus on right now is trying to push the envelope where we can down here. Oh, brutal. And I'm going to switch these guys out. So I can hit them again. Alright, there we go. We bumped them out from there. Can't quite get there, though. I want to try and take Belgrade as soon as possible. Alright, and then we'll look at the west. Oh, I guess we've got one more attack we can make here on Belgrade. Excellent. But now we're going to go ahead and shift things. Oh, wait, we got one more thing to do here. Let's take out this dreadnought if possible. It may not be possible. That's a destroyer. We're not going to be able to do it with a destroyer. Don't let him get away. I think he's going to get away. Got him. Oh, beautiful. And that gives us a 750 naval morale bonus. Now we're going to pull everybody back, because we don't want to lose morale the same way we just gained it. Alright, so here comes the hard part. We've got to try and push up into here as much as we possibly can. Antwerp's going to be a tough nut to crack, though. I don't want to go too far and get myself into trouble there. Hit this cavalry. Okay. Where's my artillery? Right here. Can we build that thing up? Yeah, let's build it up. Make it more powerful. And this will be our first chance to destroy a corps. Awesome. We're not going to take the territory, though. I'd rather inflict the damage on him and hold my line pretty solid. Where I want to move is through Belgium and get around him. I probably don't need that many headquarters up there. I should probably have kept that one there where it was. Okay, I think we're good for now. Nothing else to do there. I'm going to sit tight with my navy for the time being. So we've got 104 points to spend. So I'm going to wrap it up right there. I know that's not a very long episode, but I just wanted to get things started and be able to get your feedback on all of it. So my first question to the War Cabinet is going to be this. Where should we invest our research money? We don't have a lot of it. We'll have more as we go along. But what areas would you focus research on most importantly? And I'm going to make that an open-ended question. I'm not going to make it a poll. I'm going to invite you just to leave a comment. I will put it over on Patreon for the War Cabinet, but I'm also going to invite everybody to comment on it. Everyone who wants to, go ahead and let us know your feedback in the comment section below. Where would you invest research points? What do you think is the most important to our long-term success? Use the comment section below. War Cabinet, use the post over on Patreon. The War Cabinet's decision will be binding if there's an overwhelming favorite in that. But if not, we'll just go with what everybody suggests. Thanks for watching. Drop a like if you would. We'll try to do this episode every 3 days or so. We'll do another episode. We'll see you soon.